The USS George Washington, CVN-73, an aircraft carrier of the Nimitz-class, commemorated its 30th anniversary of service on July 4. The ship bears the name of the nation's first president, who ardently supported the need for a robust navy. Crew members from near and far attended the celebration as they reminisced their time spent on board the Navy's 6th Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, from those who served during the commissioning to those who took part in the several deployments spanning the world's oceans. We say thank you to our crew past and present, from our plank owners who first took our warship to sea, to our resilient warfighters here on George Washington today, said Captain Brent C. Gaut, George Washington's commanding officer. The years since our warship's commissioning represent not only the days of hard work and dedication put in by all who have served on board, but also stands as a solemn marker of the joys, struggles, sweat, and at times even the tears of every crew member who has crossed the brow. Aviation machinist's mate second class Capt. Dave, who served aboard the George Washington from 1991 to 1994, responded to a social media post asking plank owners to share their favorite memories from the ship by saying that his proudest moment was watching his son serve on the same ship 25 years after he did. In response to the post, plank owner data systems technician second class Todd Meyer stated that his favorite memory of his time on board was the ship's first deployment. Only 2 years after being commissioned, George Washington embarked on her first deployment, serving as the setting off Portsmouth, England, for the 50th anniversary of the D-Day commemoration ceremony. She then left on her second deployment to deal with the Middle East's escalating tensions between Iraq and Kuwait. The ship made multiple deployments in the 5th and 6th Fleet areas of responsibility between 1993 and 2000. Following the September 11 terrorist attacks, George Washington was sent to New York City in September 2001 to provide air defense. As a melancholy remembrance of the ship's commitment to the security of the country, a piece of steel from the destroyed Twin Towers is still on exhibit in the Chief's Mess. George Washington played a part in both Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2004 and Operation Enduring Freedom in 2002, both of which were post-September 11 conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. George Washington, the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier to be deployed forward, sailed from Norfolk to its new home port of Yokosuka, Japan, in 2008 with Carrier Air Wing 17, CVW-17, and Carrier Strike Group 8 aboard. Tragically, while traveling across the Pacific, a fire started on board the ship. After putting out fires at sea, George Washington was sent to San Diego to get fixed. August saw the ship leave San Diego, while September saw it arrive in Yokosuka. When you look at what this ship has accomplished in its first 30 years, you have to look at each sailor, who at every significant milestone in the ship's history has left behind a legacy that we carry on today, said Command Master Chief Christopher R. Ziegler. None of the ship's many successes would have been possible without the men and women who swore an oath to protect our nation no matter where the ship was deployed. George Washington took engaged in a variety of activities with Ally fleets throughout 2009 while underway numerous times in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. The ship cooperated in Sea of Japan operations with the Air Force and Navy of the Republic of Korea in 2010. George Washington left Yokosuka as a precaution after the earthquake and tsunami that hit Fukushima, Japan, in 2011 in order to maintain a state of preparedness in support of Japan and to help with relief efforts. Following Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, the ship and air wing deployed to the Philippines to increase search and rescue efforts, offer medical attention, and deliver supplies using its mounted helicopters. George Washington took part in Talisman Sabre, an exercise that included some 30,000 Australian and American service members, in July 2015. For the first time, defense troops from Japan and New Zealand also took part in the drill. In order to conduct the first ever three-carrier hull swap with 9,000 sailors in the carriers USS Ronald Reagan, CVN-76, and USS Theodore Roosevelt, the ship subsequently made its way back to San Diego, CVN-72. George Washington, which was headed for Virginia after leaving San Diego, was detoured to work with the hospital ship USNS Comfort, TA-20, to help Haiti during Hurricane Matthew. George Washington became the sixth Nimitz-class carrier to go through this significant midlife milestone when it entered dry dock at Newport News Shipbuilding in August 2017 to begin refueling and complex overhaul, RCOH. The ship is expected to finish RCOH in 2023 after years of modifications, renovations, and testing. "30 years is a huge milestone in a warship's history, but for George Washington, it's just the beginning of our next chapter," said Gaut. "The crew on board George Washington today look forward to completing our shipyard period and getting our warship back out to sea to protect and serve this great nation." Hope you guys love the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and please do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to all, so you can get the notification on each upload.